Hi, this is Stephanie Ray, the Accountability Evangelist, and I'm here today to tell you about my personal accountability success sequence. It is my signature framework for helping you to tackle and achieve your most ambitious goals. There are 3 steps. The first step is to create crystal clarity. And in this step, you are igniting your ambition by digging deep and really uncovering that burning and inescapable desire to go after your goal. It's super important because if you're not pumped up about it, and I mean really pumped up, you are going to lose steam. If you start going before you have that burning and inescapable desire, you're going to deceive yourself into thinking, I'm ready to do this. And then maybe even a day or two later, you're like, not as excited anymore. So it's really important to spend the time up front to reflect on what you really, really want to do, or what you really want to go after, and what you're willing to make sacrifices for. So that's part of creating crystal clarity is that ambition ignition. The second part of the crystal clarity is really validating the concept. So if you are interested in writing a book, for example, and you have dug deep and you're like, I really want to do this. I'm so excited. It's really something I want to do. So you have this burning and inescapable desire and you can't stop thinking about it. So that's a good sign, but you're only halfway there because the other part is then you got to do a little research and homework and reflection about what does it actually take to write that book? Are you going to be willing to sit down in your chair for hours on end and type? It might be interesting to you. You might love the topic, but when you sit down, you might find that, wow, I'm really excited about this, but I didn't realize that I'm just going to sit here all day and type. No, I'm over exaggerating a bit about what it's like to do that, although I've never written a book, so I don't know for sure. I did start once and I got to page 2. So if that gives you any idea on the treachery of trying to create crystal clarity by only focusing on the burning and inescapable desire part, the ambition ignition, I got that, but I didn't do the second part very well. Or maybe I did because it actually stopped me from pursuing writing that book. Now, it's sometime in the future, it may make more sense for me to do that. But what needs to be in place is I need to understand exactly what's required and then really determine, am I ready, willing, and able to do this? And stick with it over the long haul. So that is the first step in the personal accountability success sequence. The second step is to create a robust plan. So once you know your goal and you're certain this is the one for you, then you get into planning mode and you have to map out all the steps that are going to be required for you to go from A to B, A meaning where you are today, B meaning to completion of your most ambitious goal. And once you do that, then you can prioritize them based on what needs to be done logically in sequence, but also what is most important and what's going to have the biggest impact in moving you forward on your plan. And the important thing here to remember is that you want to do a plan that will facilitate your consistent forward progress. It can't just be really big jumps, because if you're just making really big jumps, there are inevitable lulls that follow that, and you may lose that enthusiasm for your goal. You're going to need this energy long term because ambitious goals require time and sacrifice and energy and enthusiasm over the long haul, not over the short term. So it's important that your plan is setting you up for success so that you will have that consistent forward progress. When you do your planning, then the execution of it requires you to really get down into the details on what am I doing every week to get me moving toward this goal. And I endorse the top 3 approach. And that's what I use is every week I choose the top 3 priority things I must get done that week that are related to my goal. As I always say to people that I'm coaching, you have 497 things to do this week. You are welcome to do these 497 things once you do the first 3. So what I should have said is you have 500 things to do this week. You can do the 497 things after the 3, but you get my point. The point is to prioritize if they really are the most important things you should be doing. That's what you should be doing first. So that's kind of the planning in a nutshell, a little bit simplistic, but for this video, I just wanted to keep it short. So that's step 2 in the personal accountability success sequence. Step 3 is to recruit vested support. What is vested support? Vested support is different than regular support. So you can get regular support from pretty much anywhere. Your family, friends, people you know, books, resources, etc. People will support you and cheer you on, but you need that vested support. Vested means this person, let's take a person, for example, because usually it comes in the form of a person or people, is really all about your success. But not only that, they understand you. They understand why you want to go after this goal, what has held you back in the past, what are the likely stumbling blocks, and what to do and say in order to help you move past them when they happen. Someone with vested support of you is really invested in your success. They have a personal interest in what you're doing, and they'll be objective with you. So they're not going to just constantly be a cheerleader when that isn't what you need at that moment. They really understand what you want, want it, why it hasn't happened yet, and how to help you get there. Now you're still in the driver's seat. You're going on this journey. You're driving, but having that support is so critical, because once you have the plan in place, that's great and you're executing, but you need to maintain that consistent forward progress. And in order to do that, you need a guide along your journey. And that is the third step in the personal accountability success sequence. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. To review, the personal accountability success sequence is: step 1, create crystal clarity; step 2, make a robust plan; and step 3, recruit vested support. Thanks for joining me.